The election, I believe, was stolen. But we know that. Space Force has it all. Trump has all the information. It's going to be overturned.
What do you think Space Force has?
Space Force is a military branch of the, just like the Army, all the military. And they literally, walk up here, they literally, the night of the election, they literally watched the election be stolen. They know, they watermarked the ballots. They know exactly what happened with every ballot. They know what fake ballots, all right? They knew the election switches. They know what countries were involved. They followed the money. They know what every politician that's been paid off. They know there was 269,000 sealed indictments, but I think it might even be up to 500,000 sealed indictments.
Political cult members rally for Donald Trump around the belief that things would soon be right with that fraudulent election from damn near 3 years ago. And Space Force is the entity that's going to have all the goods. But what else is going to happen, MAGA?
And I believe that we're going to have an emergency broadcast, and the military is going to come in with martial law, and we are going to be shown 8 hours on, 8 hours off of videos for 7 days, the world, and they're going to be showing us taped tribunals, taped confessions, and the world is going to be awakened to what's really going on with the deep state.
This cult believes that Donald Trump is the mastermind behind the biggest collection of evidence about the stolen election and is simply waiting for his Space Force to dramatically unveil all of it on live TV right before your late and local news. But this would be coming from the same Donald Trump that was found to have been hoarding loads of classified information in closets and bathrooms at Mar-a-Lago. The guy that can't stop talking about how unfairly he's being treated by the legal system over his foot soldiers' attack on the Capitol. It should make that cult wonder, why hasn't he and the Space Force released all this information instead of complaining about being caught? It must be hidden in his Space Force announcement from a few years ago.
My administration is reclaiming America's heritage as the world's greatest spacefaring nation. When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. So important. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal.
It must have been that separate but equal line that has absolutely nothing to do with the branches of government or federal agencies that convinced so many of these QAnon types that the Space Force is coming to rescue their conspiracies. Or maybe they've been told that he's been chosen by God to make them look like fools.
For those in the left-wing media know, we who are affiliated with Pastors for Trump, we do not deify or worship Donald Trump. We worship the Lord, but we recognize Donald Trump as his apostle.
No wonder many MAGA supporters call themselves Christian. They think Jesus taught his disciples the principles of greed, lust, anger, bigotry, revenge, and sexual misconduct, and channeled it all into the vessel that is Donald Trump. And despite his holy partnership, he still needs the Space Force to get the job done. And our friend that was talking off the beginning of this, she isn't alone. Because this is what others have tweeted. Panic in Arizona. Over 250,000 invalid ballots found already. 80,000 without any fingerprints. Military tracking daily figures. Let's keep the auditors in our minds and prayers. Daily threats to them and their families. Space Force watching. Here's another. Do you really believe the media's stories that mocked Space Force? Space Force operates satellites. There you go. All the hacking from Europe, China, Iran, they have it all. Maricopa, with just the fake ballots, will start the avalanche. In the end to dominion. And this one. He knew from day one. Even before election, he was already warning us about the fraud. What people don't realize is he has it all. Space Force has all the data of the fraud. That's why Trump is not worried. He wants the people to wake up and see all the corruption. He will be back. This MAGA army shows up in hopes of finally witnessing one of the several miracles of Donald Trump. But instead, they get one of his apostles, like Mike Flynn, who ironically tells them right to their faces what they're successfully doing to them.
We're in this world of, we call it fifth generation warfare, but we're in this world of information operations and psychological operations. And most people, they have no clue what I'm talking about. But these are real things. These are real things. And entire societies can succumb to propaganda.